Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Prepare for excitement that will have your hands clenched to your seats and your heart racing in ways you never thought were possible. Ready? Let's jump right into it. We kick off today's episode with a Trailcam capture that is mysterious and unusual. Feast your eyes on these snapshots that were all captured thanks to a trusty motion detection Trailcam. Behold this bizarre entity, a recurring character in all three frames. The creature boasts a lovely shade of pink flesh that rivals a pig's, and its facial features are nothing short of peculiar. A quirky visage with big, soul-piercing eyes and an absence of the standard nose. It's almost like someone took a tortoise's face, gave it a pink makeover, and placed it on this strange being. This creature, whatever it may be, seems to be crawling along the ground, arms outstretched toward the camera. The question remains, are we gazing upon an actual living entity, a person skillfully adorned in a costume, or a meticulously orchestrated hoax? The answer, my friend, might just be as curious as these snapshots themselves. This adventurous motorcyclist was weaving through a forested path, sporting a trusty helmet camera to capture the ride. Little did he know, he captured something spine-tingling, only discovered during the footage review. Hold on tight, and let's take a look. Zoom in on the left side of the screen amidst the forest trees and you'll spot it, a tall, pale figure lurking in the shadows, keenly watching our two-wheeled adventurer. Blink, and you might just miss it. The questions abound. What on earth could this lurking presence be? It's pretty tall, towering above the trees. Could it be the elusive Slender Man, or might it be something entirely different? Tell me what you think in the comment section. Indeed, the woods have always held an air of mystery, harboring secrets that both captivate and confound those who venture into them. This peculiar image, discovered in the heart of the forest, adds to it. At first glance, it looks like an internal part of some animal, with its pinkish flesh and curiously round upper part. But its lower section sports what looks like limbs, an anatomical feature that suggests this could not be a part of a larger creature. So if it's not part of some larger creature and it exists on its own, what creature could it be? Truth is, no one knows or can even guess. Even the person who found it could not put a name to what he'd seen. After uploading it online, some theorized it was an alien, whereas others said it was an aborted fetus. While we can see where they're all coming from, it's no secret that none of these thoroughly describe what the creature is or how it ended up where it was found. Can you help? In a chilling turn of events, the residents of a certain house had their nerves rattled when they reviewed security footage from their property. The footage revealed an unsettling intruder lurking about the premises. Now, when you expect an intruder, you generally hope it's human. At least then you'd know what you're dealing with. But in this spine-tingling scenario, a security camera revealed a peculiar dog-like creature strolling around on its hind legs in the dead of night. So, is it a specter, a paranormal entity, or are our four-legged friends attempting some Toy Story-esque escapades while we're not looking? Talk about being in the right place at the right time. An unintentional Bigfoot sighting came to light when a YouTuber renowned for his vehicle reviews took a four-wheeler for a spin. While he was focused on his review, he inadvertently filmed what many believed to be a Bigfoot. If you look closely at the left side of the road among the trees, you'll spot a mysterious dark-furred creature strolling into the woods. It's almost as if Bigfoot decided to make a cameo appearance while the camera was rolling. In the past, these creatures were quite elusive, and it took a great deal to capture them. But now, all it takes is to just be in the woods or mountains at the right time, and you might be lucky to catch a glimpse of one. Either that or we have some really convincing fakes out there. A man was taking a walk with his dog during spring sunset when something strange happened. The dog's behavior suddenly took an anxious turn as it fixated on something in the distance. Not wanting to miss anything unusual, the owner turned the camera in that direction. There, at a noticeable distance, was a figure, eerily stationary and facing them. What made this even more unsettling was that the dog, usually quick to bark at potential threats, remained silent but visibly agitated. It was as though the dog sensed something about that figure, something beyond the human eye. The true identity and intent of the mysterious figure remains shrouded in uncertainty. It could have been an innocent passerby, but the dog's instinctual reaction suggests there might have been something more ominous at play. A mysterious being has made an unexpected appearance on a home surveillance camera, and it's leaving viewers puzzled. This creature seems to defy a clear classification. It alternates between an otherworldly, ghostly form and a more animalistic shape as it hops around the camera frame. However, it's the creature's head that truly perplexes, as it's surrounded by radiant beams of light emanating from its bright eyes. The exact identity of this strange being remains a riddle. What kind of creature is this? In the epic showdown between a dog and a lion, you'd naturally think the lion would have the upper paw. However, the outcome of this encounter might surprise you. It all began when a curious pit bull ventured into the woods, seemingly on a mission to establish some territorial authority. While the dog was busy exploring, a stealthy mountain lion sneaked up from behind, preparing to strike. But as the lion leapt, the dog turned around in the nick of time and counterattacked with impressive determination. The lion, perhaps underestimating the pit bull's fierce spirit, quickly retreated, leaving the dog victorious in this unexpected showdown. Wait, did I say a pit bull? That's Frenchie, isn't it? Can anyone out there clarify this for me? Before you watch the next clip, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to making it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode. In the heart of the woods, in the still of the night, an eerie encounter took place. A lone wanderer stumbled upon a bizarre creature perched precariously on a broken fence. The creature's most striking feature was its eyes, which emitted an unsettling, ominous glow. The creature's face conveyed a sense of menace, an unspoken warning to all who dared approach. Its very presence seemed to whisper, "Get any closer and you'll regret it." What could this mysterious creature be? I've heard a lot of mysteries and explanations, but I think it's a stray dog whose territory the man might have walked into. Now, I know some of you might crucify me for this assertion, but take a critical look and tell me that does not look like a dog. Late-night drives through desolate roads often have a sense of solitude and calm, offering a break from the hectic day. However, occasionally these peaceful moments can be disrupted by unexpected and chilling encounters. Such was the case for one driver who experienced a hair-raising incident that left him questioning the laws of reality. As the driver cruised along the dimly lit road, the headlights illuminated a peculiar figure standing in the middle of the path. It was undoubtedly a person, or at least it appeared to be. What caught the driver's attention was the black cloth draped over this mysterious individual, concealing their identity and features except for their shoulders, which were visible beneath the dark shroud. As he approached to investigate, he tried to remove the black cloth, only to find that there was no one underneath. The mysterious figure had vanished into thin air, leaving the driver both puzzled and spooked. Was it a ghostly apparition or something else altogether? Share your thoughts with us, especially if you believe it's a hoax, because someone, not me, but someone close to me, thinks it's a hoax. Hidden among the tranquil woods of England, where ancient trees and age-worn rocks stand as sentinels of nature's timeless beauty, a peculiar phenomenon awaits those who venture deep into the forest. Carved into the bark of trees and etched into the rugged surfaces of rocks, a gallery of faces emerges, each with its own unique expression and enigmatic aura. Now, you might think these faces tell tales of a bygone era, relics of ancient civilizations, or symbols of nature's mystique. But the truth behind these enigmatic carvings is as surprising as it is simple. They're the work of modern artists, driven by their passion for creativity and a desire to infuse the wilderness with a touch of the surreal. Yes, these faces have been carved relatively recently, and their origin is rooted in the minds of contemporary artisans, not ancient dwellers or mysterious forest spirits. But still, the thought of a face on a rock or a tree watching you in the woods is creepy or exciting depending on the kind of person you are, if you know what I mean. In this intriguing video clip captured by a security cam on a private property, the scene starts with a seemingly ordinary setting, just a big leaf in view, but then things take an eerie twist. Two glowing orbs suddenly manifest beside a tree, casting an unsettling, unnatural light in the darkness. It's as if something from beyond is peeking into our world. These ethereal lights ignite and surge into the woods like a portal to the unknown, leaving behind a trail of ghostly luminescence. Our world is no stranger to mysteries, but this encounter raises chilling questions. What's behind these enigmatic manifestations? Are we witnessing a glimpse into the supernatural? Could those have been alien ships moving at supersonic speeds? Share your thoughts, but beware, they might be listening. Next, we have a chilling video that's bound to leave you stupefied. And yes, I'm not ashamed to state I learned that word from the Harry Potter series. Either way, back to the footage. It starts out as seemingly innocent, and then out of the shadows, a cryptic entity emerges. Its body, divided into two halves, white on top and black below, is a stark contrast to its surroundings. With agile and unnatural movements, it launches itself forward, gripping the white walls as it bounds down a narrow hallway lined with numerous other white doors. In a heartbeat, this mysterious being makes a daring leap, aiming for an opening in the ceiling, and just like that, vanishes from sight. The question lingers in the air. What in the world have we just witnessed? Before you start panicking, allow me to put you out of your misery. It's all CGI. This was created by a talented artist, and despite how realistic he tried to make it, if you pay attention long enough, you can tell it's computer generated. Or can you? Gather round the campfire for another spine-tingling tale. As night falls, a camper finds themselves all set for a peaceful sleepover in the heart of the woods. The fire crackles, casting dancing shadows that add to the eerie ambience. But suddenly, this tranquil scene is shattered by an uninvited guest, a cryptic creature lurking in the shadows concealed behind a tree just a stone's throw from the campfire. The camper instinctively reaches for their camera, capturing the unfolding enigma. The creature reveals itself with its long and slender fingers, reminiscent of the iconic Edward Scissorhands. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, a single glowing eye pierces the darkness. Bathed in the warm light of the fire, the true nature of this being becomes clearer, its slender fingers and that piercing eye etching an indelible image in the camper's mind. The encounter is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine, and the camper's startled reaction mirrors what many of us would feel in such a situation. The video ends abruptly, leaving us with a haunting question. Would you have the nerve to stay and capture such a moment, or would your instinct to flee prevail? Fun fact, he throws fire at the creature before running. That convinces me this is real, or at least some good acting. What do you think? Out on the serene deck of a water body, a curious fisherman finds himself face to face with an utterly perplexing sight. His camera captures the puzzling appearance of a strange sea creature unlike anything he's ever seen before. This aquatic mystery boasts a set of unusual and unsettling physical features, as if it's experiencing some form of deep-seated discomfort. Its most striking characteristic is a vivid pink tail, which stands out starkly against the backdrop of the water. The creature's body exudes an inexplicable sense of unease, leading some to wonder if it could be the result of a bizarre mutation. Yet amid the myriad speculations, one question remains. What on earth or in the water is this unknown creature? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now before I send that creature after you. On a more serious note, it really helps us out a ton and gives us the opportunity to keep making these videos for you. So please do so and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much. Next, we have shrouded in the mysterious aura of abandonment, the King's Path, a once beautiful structure now marred by the relentless hands of time and neglect. Winding through a landscape kissed by the river's edge, embraced by the encroaching wilderness, and ensconced by ancient stone edifices, this decaying relic could be likened to the road less traveled, the path to another realm. An unsettling sense of impending doom seems to hang in the air for anyone traversing this worn trail. Many years of exposure to the elements have left their mark on this place. The paths are broken and fallen, revealing their skeletal remains. Rusty steel beams are all that's left of a once thriving route. The only way to move forward where brave hikers once dared is by carefully walking on these steel beams. It's like a glimpse into the past and a glimpse into what the future might hold. A courageous person captured by our camera is walking on the King's Path. Every step they take carries with it the stories of many others who once explored this place, some of them venturing into the unknown. Would you be willing to walk this deteriorating trail, embracing its mysterious beauty and taking the risk between life and the unknown? If you would, then the King's Path awaits you. In the heart of the woods, nestled within the mystifying embrace of the devil's tramping ground, there lies a peculiar patch of barren land. This desolate circle, spanning many acres, stands as a chilling testament to nature's defiance. Here, the very earth refuses to yield, and no plant can stake its roots, a mysterious void in the midst of lush greenery. Legend has it that something sinister happens here during the night. People say the devil himself visits, carrying out his wicked schemes under the cover of darkness. The malevolence in this place is so strong that it's thought to repel life itself, banishing plants from its cursed soil. But there's an even stranger twist to this tale. Objects left behind in this area seem to vanish into thin air as if the devil himself is taking them. It's believed that anyone brave enough to camp within this unusual space is in for a chilling encounter with malevolent forces beyond imagination. The memories of these unfortunate campers are forever marked by terror, haunting their dreams and driving them to flee for safety in the distant hills. As you look at this cursed ground, you can't help but wonder about the nature of the devil's nightly activities. What sinister deeds occur in this desolate circle? Is it the result of dark magic or just a superstition? The mystery of the devil's tramping ground continues to tempt the curious, encouraging them to contemplate its unexplainable nature. Have you been there? Do you have stories to share? Please do so in the comments section below. In the midst of deep darkness concealed in a shroud of mystery, this black and white footage reveals a creature that leaves us in a state of uncertainty. At first glance, it resembles a cat, although it's oddly missing a tail. The enigmatic shades in the recording offer us little more than a pair of radiant eyes glowing like otherworldly orbs. In the world of the unexplained, there are various theories. Some suggest that it might be a cat under the influence of some supernatural force caught in an otherworldly twist. Others propose that it could be an effect of the camera distorting reality and turning it into a perplexing enigma. Amid all of this uncertainty, there are whispers of a more unsettling possibility. A mountain lion concealed in the obscurity of the night, hiding its true identity. We can go on, but looking at it, what do you think we're dealing with? Tell us in the comments section. In the brilliant light of a midday sky, a captivating spectacle unfolds right before our eyes. Up high, the heavens appear to be in motion, with wisps of gas gathering and swirling, creating a dream-like show. However, amidst this celestial dance, there's an object hanging in the sky. It stands out from the sun, which is casting its bright rays as usual over the town. This object has a distinctive circular shape that piques our curiosity. It reminds us of a UFO sighting by a fellow traveler on an airplane. Could this be another visit from an extraterrestrial spacecraft defying the laws of our earthly skies? Or maybe it's something else entirely. A radiant orb carrying a celestial being gliding through dimensions beyond our comprehension. We've always interpreted these orbs to mean spiritual activity, but recent sightings have us reconsidering them to be extraterrestrial. What about you?
You know, there's a good reason behind the no littering rule, and it's not just about keeping things clean and tidy. While we humans may not pick up random objects and chew on them, both wild and domestic animals like goats and deer don't have that kind of discernment. Let me show you this footage. One night, a curious buck found its way onto a property. However, it had a problem. A bucket was stuck on its head, with its horns poking out. It's quite likely the poor thing thought the bucket was some kind of snack, and it ended up struggling to get it off. Thankfully, there were people around to help the creature out. If not for their intervention, it could have starved or even hurt itself on the sharp edges of the bucket. So, remember this little incident the next time you're disposing of trash. Make sure to do it properly, because it's not just about keeping our surroundings clean, but also about protecting our wildlife.
What do we have here? Behold, a hand fidgeting with a Trailcam. You've heard curiosity killed the cat, but this hand's owner seems unfazed. As darkness cloaks the day and masks the identity, this hand doesn't exude fear. If anything, it screams for a manicure. Gnarled and unclipped nails, maybe even a stray hair or two. I mean, it looks like the hand of an unkempt hunter aiming for the headlines by activating the Trailcam's infrared light. If that's not the scenario you had in mind, then I suspect Bigfoot took the spot, and I can't blame you. Considering the nails and gnarls, it makes sense after all, but this just screams fake. I'm sorry, a part of me wanted to believe it could be, but clearly it's not. It just seems too out of character for the big guy, but what do you think? Could it really be a Bigfoot looking for a potential hand model, or is this just a bad attempt to go viral with Bigfoot footage? Share your thoughts in the comments section, as we'd love to read it. While walking by a river, this man noticed something unusual in the water, prompting him to take out his phone to record the scene. As he approached to get a better view, he realized he was looking at a massive crocodile. The reptile lay just below the water's surface, its mouth slightly open, revealing its sharp teeth. However, the creature remained motionless in the water. Crocodiles are known for their strategic hunting tactics. Typically, one might expect such a reptile to lunge at the man from the water, but this particular crocodile remained stationary. Was it sleeping, dead, or simply not hungry at that moment? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section.
Now let's dive into this perplexing viral footage that has left everyone utterly baffled and scratching their heads. In the video, we see a man taking a leisurely walk along a path that winds through some bushes. He appears to be having a great day, even singing a little tune while filming himself and flashing a cheerful smile. Little did he know that this walk would take a seriously eerie turn. From behind him, an unsettling figure emerges from the depths of the bushes and starts following him. This figure looks, well, human-like, yet it has an incredibly pale complexion that sets it apart. The man, now aware of his uninvited companion, suddenly becomes visibly frightened, and in a matter of seconds, he's off and running for his life. What's even more chilling is that the mysterious figure starts chasing him. So, what in the world was that thing?
In the blackness of the night, engulfing the remote forest, did you see that creature suddenly appear and then disappear as it appeared? What does the scene bring to mind? Some who saw the footage believed it was Bigfoot, but a second group believed it was nothing more than a witch. The darkness makes it hard to discern what exactly we're looking at, but is it just me or does it appear to be wearing a cloak more than it does appear to be having fur? Perhaps it's my eyes or simply put, my active imagination at work, but I believe the uploader may have wrongly identified the cryptid he encountered. What do you think? In this next footage, we have a man who claims to own the body parts of a Bigfoot his father shot and killed years ago. According to him, the creature was so massive that they had no suitable space to preserve the entire body intact, so they resorted to cutting it into pieces for preservation. Here we can see him displaying the severed arm of the said Bigfoot. The arm, covered in brown fur, looks incredibly realistic. The palm looks human, but has this animalistic look to it, and it's very big. It's distinctly different from chimps, monkeys, or gorillas. Do you believe it is indeed the arm of a Bigfoot, or do you think it's simply a prop? We'd love to hear your take and thoughts.
Speaking of ghostly encounters, here's another that's sure to send shivers down your spine. In a seemingly ordinary classroom, two students were caught in a deep slumber, completely unaware of the eerie events about to unfold. Out of nowhere, a ghostly gust of wind begins to sweep through the room, causing papers to flutter and shuffle around. The wind itself doesn't appear to be particularly strong, but it's what follows that cranks up the fear factor. The classroom's cupboard starts to swing open and slam shut with an aggressive and unnatural force. Yet, the most hair-raising part of the video occurs by the window. Here, a strange and chilling figure materializes, its gaze fixed intently on the unsuspecting sleeping students. This spectral entity features a pale, indistinct head and is draped in a ghostly white robe. If this doesn't give you the creeps, I don't know what will.
This next footage was captured by someone who was out exploring caves. Yes, caves. It's not something I would do, but their discoveries often lead to advancements in science and history. But what this man discovered, well, I'm not so sure. Those are actual eyes, and yes, they are staring back. Obviously, the ones who recorded the footage were very scared. But what exactly are they looking at? We can only see its glowing eyes and a small part of its face, yet not enough to actually know what we are dealing with. Members of the paranormal community believe it might be a skinwalker, but I just don't see it. Despite disagreeing, though, I can't seem to associate it with any known cryptid of ours. Perhaps it might be a creature that lives in the cave that has long been forgotten. Do you have any experience with any creature like this? Have you heard any folklore involving cave creatures that you think might be connected? Share them in the comments section alongside your opinions of what we might be dealing with. We'd really like to hear them.
In this next picture, folks, we've got a special treat from the heart of the forest. If you love wolves, you will love this. What you're looking at are 3 majestic wolves, each with its head held high, jaws wide open. It's like they're preparing for a grand performance, ready to unleash their haunting howls into the night. Such a rare and beautiful sight, reminding us of the wonders nature has to offer.
This is another footage of a YouTuber who ventured into an abandoned church to check it out. If you're regular on this channel, then you know things didn't go exactly as planned. Instead of a supernatural encounter, he stumbled on something quite disturbing. Tombs. Tempered tombs. The curious YouTuber got a closer look at the tombs, and in the broken coffins were the remains of the deceased on display. This is usually the work of tomb raiders who open tombs to steal jewelry and anything of value in them. Creepy, I know. Although this is not as scary as the previous footage, it's still very creepy with all those bones lying there exposed. Don't you think so?
Imagine a serene day in the woods with your children, watching them play and have a great time. Then, out of the corner of your eye, you spot something eerie, something unnatural. A strange entity lurking in the shadows, dressed in a dark cloak, stalking your kids.
Get up here! Get away from him!
It's the stuff of nightmares, and it's precisely what one father experienced during a seemingly innocent family outing. The entity's appearance alone is enough to send shivers down your spine, and from the children's reactions, it's clear that they were terrified. But here's the puzzling part. The father remained surprisingly calm.
Get up here! Get away from him!
Standing at a distance and instructing his kids to run from this ominous presence, rather than rushing to their side to ensure their safety. It raises the question, why didn't he immediately go to them, protecting them from whatever this eerie entity might do? Is he just a deadbeat dad? Or are we simply looking at a hoax meant to throw us off? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Next, we have something that'll send chills down your spine. This footage comes from a YouTuber who had a seriously eerie experience in his own home. So, here's the scene. He walks into his dining room, and boom, there it is. A pair of glowing eyes staring right at him from the corner of the room. But wait, it gets even creepier. Before he noticed the glowing eyes, he had that unsettling feeling of being watched. You know, the kind that makes your skin crawl. Now, here's the kicker. Since the room is pretty dimly lit, it's a real puzzle. Is it just a dog chilling there? Or could it be something way more sinister lurking in the shadows? Regardless of what's behind those glowing eyes, I'm sure most of us would be terrified to find this surprise waiting at home. Let's talk about this interesting photo. A hiker was out in the woods when he stumbled upon something truly out of the ordinary. Instead of running away, he hid and snapped a pic of the bizarre creature he had encountered. Moose, with their grand antlers, do look quite majestic, don't they? But did you know they shed their antlers every year? Yep, it's a regular thing for them. And this amazing drone footage caught one of those moments. In the video, you'll see a moose standing there in the heart of the forest. And then, in the blink of an eye, It gives its head a little shake, and voila, the antlers come tumbling down. Now, you'd think it would be a painful ordeal, but nope, it's a smooth and painless process. These big fellas just let go of their old antlers when they're ready, and there's a fresh set already growing in.
Trailcams always captured the most interesting of things. This next capture is one of them. A hunter monitoring deer in the area set up his trail camera to capture the animals within the part of the woods. This was to inform his next actions. While the trail cam did indeed capture deer, he noticed something in the background of the image. Yes, what you are seeing is the zoomed-in image, but can you see it? It looks like a screaming man, doesn't it? My first thought when I saw it was perhaps that's a man materializing from a different dimension, which might explain the screaming. I mean, perhaps it's a painful process. My able intern, however, thinks it looks like an alien, and perhaps it might have a cloaking device activated, which is why it looks like that. I mean, that sounds much wilder and more unbelievable than my interdimensional man theory. What do you think, though? Are we way ahead of ourselves, or do we have answers that could help? Please share in the comments section, as I'd love to hear them. Has your life ever been so boring that you sought out thrills to make it exciting? Well, that's exactly what these young men are doing. Aspiring to be YouTubers of the spooky world, they visited an area of the woods known to have such encounters, with high hopes that they too might capture something on camera. And this happened.
I don't know, mate. What was that? What was that?
Yes, something came out of nowhere and scared them.
I'll wig it out. I don't know.
Unsure of what it was, they ran till they were out of the woods. If you pay attention to the audio in the background, you'll realize it sounds like a pig, but the boys believe it was also humanoid. This brings to mind only one cryptid, the Pigman. This is believed to be the spirit of a man who butchered pigs until they killed him in vengeance. Angry, his spirit is still believed to roam the earth and attack individuals when provoked. While I'm all for some Pigman action, I think the boys may have actually encountered a wild pig and not the Pigman as they suspected. What do you think, though? If you still haven't hit that like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do it now? Thank you very much. It means a lot to us and allows us to create more content like this. Moving on to the next clip.
While driving through the woods, a man had an intriguing encounter when he spotted a peculiar creature walking on a nearby mountain. At first glance, one might mistake it for a human wearing a dark robe, but upon closer inspection, it becomes evident that this being, while humanoid in shape, is not human. The most striking feature is its long, dark fur covering its entire body. The creature moves unusually, appearing to run on the mountain's top while maintaining a crouched posture. This description is undeniably mysterious, and it is challenging to definitively identify such a creature based on the limited information provided. What creature do you think this is? In Las Cascadas, Mexico, a group of people can be seen enjoying a carefree time on a swing. Completely unaware of a presence lurking in the darkness, closely monitoring their every move. This mysterious figure, resembling a pale, ghostly humanoid with an abnormal way of moving, evokes comparisons to the legendary entity known as the Rake. It lurks behind a tree, observing the group without making any aggressive moves, eventually disappearing into the depths of the woods, leaving no trace. While the family continues to enjoy their playtime, the creature's intentions remain a mystery. Some speculate it may have simply wanted to join in the fun, or perhaps sought some form of connection. These are mere speculations, and the true nature of the creature's actions remains elusive. What are your thoughts on what the creature might have wanted? Tell us in the comments section.
This security camera, positioned on the streets of the UK, recorded a baffling event that has left many utterly perplexed. It starts as a seemingly peaceful night with a noisy motorcycle going by. Now, I know you might be scanning intently for the main subject, but it has nothing to do with the motorcycle rider. Shift your gaze ahead to the building in front of the camera, the one next to the red car. Descending from the rooftop of the building, a peculiar entity moves behind the red car, then climbs onto the vehicle and continues its descent, eventually crossing the road. However, as it reaches the center of the road, the creature vanishes. At first, it might appear like some sort of rodent or something similar, but the way it vanishes defies all logic. This leaves us with one question. What in the world was that?
It's unknown where exactly this was captured, but let's stick to the obvious. Amidst a densely remote forest, which appears like an area rarely frequented by people, with tall, bare trees standing without leaves. In this very area, though, stands a figure, defying the known essence of these woods. A woman of uncertain age, hair deeply parted to the left, much like my vantage point. She dons a blue top under a lengthy coral pink jacket adorned with black stripe-like patterns. By all standards, this image should be fine, but no, it's rather unsettling. She stands in a weird posture, wearing a face and look that can only be described as sinister. A video clip would have presented it with greater clarity. Her face, ghostly pale, resembles a mask akin to Pennywise from the film It. As if she's possessed by a malevolent spirit. But why? She looks like an innocent young girl with a future much brighter than the contrast in that photo. Or is that what the spirit in her wants me to think? Well, I don't know anymore. It might as well be a hoax, meaning I'm simply thinking too much of it. But what do you think? Talking of something sinister, this structure was found in the woods. Its architecture is undeniably strange. The structure consists of numerous tree branches intricately intertwined, and there's an opening that resembles a doorway leading into the structure. I'm not sure what led this individual to venture into the woods at night, but this just screams monster's lair to me, and the presence of this person feels more like an intrusion than an adventure. Looking at the structure, you can tell that this is not man-made because the broken branches around the structure look like they were snapped out of place, while humans would have used equipment to clean-cut them. If it's not human, then whatever built this must be pretty intelligent. At first, I thought it could be a hunter's blind, but there's no way human arms could snap those trees off the ground. Could this be the work of Bigfoot? Could the whole structure be a Bigfoot lair or another undiscovered and much bigger creature? You tell me. Notice that many places considered haunted are in remote areas of town. Well, this next footage follows a similar trajectory, which might prove that there's indeed a correlation. During the early hours of the night, a man known for his curiosity stumbles upon a location not recommended for a visit, a place known as Dead Doll Lane. If the name doesn't already give it away, the vicinity is filled with numerous dolls, some hanging, others dismantled or even destroyed. A few are caught in the fences along the road. Unfazed by his findings, he continues his investigations. Myths surrounding these dolls suggested they house evil spirits or perhaps even demons. But let's ponder. Are these locations truly overtaken by so-called evil spirits and demons, or could they be regular spirits clinging to the perceived homes and attaching themselves to the new occupants of the property? Whatever your answer, there are individuals who've assumed the role of blinding these spirits to dolls like those featured in the footage. A few of these bound spirits become problematic and are consequently banished to the lane you see. What do you think, though? Are there merits to these myths, or are they simply old wives' tales being passed on from one generation to the other? Share your thoughts or experiences, if any, with us.
GoPros are an explorer's best friend for a number of reasons, but one of the main selling points is its durability. But what happens when you find a GoPro in the woods with no owners in sight? This footage you see was captured by a GoPro that was found in the woods by some explorers. Once they tried to play back the last few seconds of its footage to discover what could have happened to its owners, they saw this. Yes, that's a witch-looking being staring at the riders. After the riders see the witch, they try to ride away, and that's exactly when the GoPro footage ends. Try as they may, those who discovered the GoPro could not identify the riders. The funny thing is, no rider has reported a missing GoPro either. Some believe they might have been tourists or something, but if tourists had such an encounter, surely they'd report it. This led them to believe perhaps those captured in the footage didn't make it out alive. Perhaps what we saw here could have been their last moments. What do you think? Possible or too much? Now let's take a break from all the spooky stuff and enjoy these dancing bears. No, they're not actually dancing, there's more to what they're doing. Bears often scratch themselves by rubbing against trees, rocks, or other objects, but these behaviors are not actual dancing in the way humans dance, but rather instinctive or practical actions with specific purposes. They sometimes do this to relieve itching, remove parasites or ticks or fleas, and groom their fur. So in this regard, it's not a dance, but a way for bears to maintain their hygiene and comfort. They also do this to mark their territory and communicate with other bears. This scent marking can serve to establish dominance and communicate their presence to other bears in the area. Looking at these bears, which do you think they're doing? Tell us in the comments section.
While exploring the woods, this individual stumbled upon a note bearing a desperate plea for help. Intrigued and concerned, he returned to the woods the following day, determined to unravel the mystery. As he delved deeper into the forest, he encountered a series of bizarre discoveries, peculiar items scattered about, and inexplicable holes dug into the earth. These unsettling findings raised questions about what was happening in these woods. However, the situation took a chilling turn when he encountered a mysterious figure shrouded in dark robes, rapidly approaching him. Overwhelmed with fear for his safety, he made a hasty retreat from the area. The identity and intentions of the robed figure remain shrouded in uncertainty, leaving an unsettling enigma in the heart of the woods. There's something about his running that seems unreal, though. Or am I simply being a skeptic? Share your thoughts. This footage, captured in Waterford, Connecticut, initially appears to be a glimpse of the entrance or exit to a forested area, with just 2 tree trunks visible amid lush greenery. However, upon closer examination, we observe mysterious movements within the woods. The identity of this enigmatic figure remains unclear, but what is evident is its remarkable swiftness and apparent lack of concern for being seen or recorded. The recorder speculates that it could be a large humanoid figure lurking in the woods. What are your thoughts on this intriguing sighting? Do you agree with the recorder's assessment? Share your insights and theories in the comments below as we delve deeper into this woodland mystery.
The mystique of Bigfoot continues. In the world of cryptids and enigmatic creatures, Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, holds a special place, and this image adds another layer to the enduring mystery. The footage opens us up to a forest where we've got some dense bushes, and there, right in the midst of it all, is a figure with brown fur with its back turned to the camera. Now the speculation begins. Some adventurous souls suggest that what we are seeing here is none other than the elusive Sasquatch crouched down on the ground. After all, these creatures are known for their significant size. But wait, there's a twist in the tale. This particular one is much smaller compared to what our expectation of a Sasquatch is.
Some members of the paranormal community have suggested that the footage might not be a Bigfoot at all. Instead, they've suggested it might be a rare capture of the monkey people, an entirely different species of cryptid. Are you familiar with these species, or do we need to do a special episode on them? Tell us if you'd want that in the comments section. We'd be reading. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe buttons yet, this would be a good time to do so. We've got so much content in store for you, and we wouldn't want you to miss any. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Now, back to today's episode. Do you believe that some bird species can be demonized? If you don't, how do you explain this? Yes, that's a bird screaming at the homeowner. We're unsure why it's doing so, but it doesn't stop even after the filming stops. I'm not an avian expert, so I can't tell which exact species it is, but what do you make of it? Do you think it's asking for help? Do you think it's giving the owner a piece of its mind, or are we simply looking at some demonic bird possibly raining curses at the homeowner? Share your thoughts, I'd love to hear them. If you have similar experiences, don't hesitate to add them too. Late night drives. I have very beautiful and fond memories of such trips, especially when you have your buddies along with you. Despite my numerous trips, I encountered some of what I'm about to show you. The footage starts off as an innocent documentation of someone's road trip. As the footage continues, we realize that there are no cars on the road aside from the one from which the video is being recorded. The streetlights and the headlights give it an eerie feel. A few seconds later, we notice that there's a figure just ahead of the car, and in less than a second, the figure dashes to the left. There's no way that's human. The first and initial guesses are that we are dealing with something paranormal. Narrowing it down, we think it might be a ghost. What do you think, though? I mean, there's little to work with, but what could it be aside from a ghost? In the bustling nightlife of Las Vegas, something unusual in the sky caught the attention of a crowd outside a club. As they gazed upward, they were met with a mesmerizing sight. Lights piercing through the clouds, suggesting the presence of a concealed craft, or perhaps one that was cloaked from the naked eye. These lights, distinctive in their appearance, didn't resemble any man-made aircraft, leaving one inevitable question lingering. Could this have been a UFO, an unidentified flying object? The mysteries of the cosmos often find their way into our everyday lives, leaving us to wonder about the possibilities beyond our understanding. So here's a rather spine-tingling story captured by a street security camera in a quiet town. In the dead of night, this video shows a girl dressed in a white gown, but her movements are far from ordinary. She's walking in a strangely crouched position, adding an unsettling aura to her presence. As she gets closer, things take a very strange turn. The girl suddenly crouches down even further, and then, in the blink of an eye, she just vanishes into the ground, as if the earth itself swallowed her up. Creepy, right? But that's not the end of it. After her disappearance, another girl emerges, and guess what? She repeats the whole unnerving act, crouching and vanishing into the ground. Now, what's perplexing is that they appear to be the same person caught in a bizarre, inexplicable loop. This weird and mysterious reoccurrence raises a whole bunch of questions. What could the story behind this eerie, repetitive apparition be? Late-night adventurers embarked on an evening excursion with the intention of exploring an abandoned sewer deep within the heart of the forest. However, their adventure took an unexpected turn. Upon reaching the entrance of the sewer, they were greeted by a truly perplexing sight. Standing at the gate that guarded the entrance was a strange creature. It was swathed in shadow, making it exceptionally challenging to discern its features. The bizarre creature appeared to be in the process of scaling the gate, and this unusual encounter was enough to give the intrepid adventurers a serious case of the heebie-jeebies. In response to this weird discovery, the group made the unanimous decision to call off their mission, preferring to err on the side of caution. For our next clip, we travel all the way to the Philippines. A farmer here had a mysterious encounter on his farm, capturing what appears to be a mythical creature known as a sibgin. For our Western audience, sibgins are blood-sucking creatures that roam the night, often moving backwards with their heads facing down. They're very popular in Filipino folklore and are believed to be pitch black and possess the ability to cloak themselves, making them elusive and eerie. In the footage, the farmer can be seen extending his hand toward the creature in an attempt to lure it closer. But as it approaches and he sees what it is, he throws pebbles at it and the creature then retreats. Before you scream animal abuse or harassment, these creatures are very deadly despite their small size. It's highly unusual to witness a sibgin out in broad daylight, adding to the intrigue and mystery surrounding these mythical creatures. This creature, spotted in Montana, appears to be a truly unusual and unsettling entity. It appears to have characteristics resembling a mix of a wolf, a human, and a hyena. Its head is reminiscent of a wolf, the body is similar to a hyena, and its front limbs resemble those of a human. The creature's dark fur adds to its eerie and intimidating appearance, earning it comparisons to a nightmarish bloodhound. In paranormal circles, such a creature may often be referred to as a dogman. Some suggest it might be a werewolf, while others propose a more scientific explanation, such as a hybrid animal. Regardless of its origins, this creature certainly has an intimidating and fearsome presence that would deter anyone from attempting to approach or interact with it. Yes, it's scary, and while I want it to be very real, a second look makes me think it could all be CGI. What do you think? This mysterious image recently surfaced on the YouTube channel Cold TV, leaving viewers baffled and intrigued. In the image, a strange figure is depicted. It appears to be a human-like entity crouched on both hands and feet, facing upwards. What makes this entity even more perplexing is its bluish, almost spectral hue, giving its naked skin an otherworldly appearance. Some skeptics have suggested that this could be a person in a costume. However, the original uploader of the image has provided no context or explanation, adding to the unnerving nature of the photograph. This peculiar image continues to baffle and unsettle those who come across it, leaving the true nature of this entity shrouded in mystery. Next, we have footage from some young explorers who were exploring the enchanted forest of Tofino. It was all good until they had a perplexing encounter. Take a look. They managed to capture footage of a mysterious creature, but the creature had its back to the camera as it walked away. The footage primarily shows the creature's dark, furry back, partially concealed by the trees. What's truly intriguing is that this creature appears to be walking on two legs, as the video reveals. The hikers were astounded by the sight and even ventured closer to the location where they'd spotted the creature. Their surprise deepened when they discovered fresh tracks left by the creature. The prints bore a striking resemblance to human footprints, but were considerably much larger. Convinced that they hadn't encountered a bear, but rather a humanoid creature, they contemplated the possibility of it being a Bigfoot. Looking at the footage, I can see why they think that. I mean, do you know any other creature that could leave prints that human-like and large? If you do, please share it with us in the comments section. Until then, the conclusion is that that's a Bigfoot.
Before you move on to the next clip, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment in the comments section. It goes a long way to help us produce more videos for you. Thanks very much for doing so. It means a lot. Moving back to today's episode. Do you believe aliens are real? Did you just have an iota of doubt even after the admission of the US government? Perhaps you should see this. This intriguing surveillance footage captured an unusual sight behind a parked car. Late at night, a humanoid figure emerges. The creature appears hairless and pale with smaller arms positioned in front of its body. It looked around for a moment before retreating into the darkness. The appearance of this creature does indeed seem rather eerie and could be reminiscent of descriptions of extraterrestrial beings in some accounts. Simply put, it looks like an alien, and I do believe it's actually one. What's your take? The next footage is so interesting that I can feel my Shakespeare tendencies building up. A group of Ghostbusters receive a cryptic tip about a house steeped in ghostly legends. They're decked out in their ghost hunting gear, ready to dive headfirst into a real-life paranormal thriller. Now they roll up to the spectral house, but surprise, surprise, it's as if the spirits inside somehow knew they were coming. No ghostly antics, no creepy vibes, so they decide to set up a camera, leave it behind, and then sneak off to watch from a distance. Classic Ghostbuster strategy, right? But just when they thought it was a wild ghost chase, things take a freaky turn. Out of the shadows emerges this strange-looking creature. It's got a dark rear end and looks like something out of a nightmare, and it's just casually strolling around checking the place out. But hold on to your seat. Out of the blue, a piece of the ground breaks away. Now, most folks would jump out of their skin, but not this creature. It's like it's been expecting it. And then it happens. It reveals its true form with ghostly features and eyes that seem to pierce right through you. No more "I heard from a friend who heard from a friend" stories. This time, they've got rock-solid evidence. It's like living in a scene from the X-Files right in their own lives. So here's the million-dollar question. What would you do if you suddenly found yourself face-to-face with something this spine-chilling? So this TikTok page called Official GPT dropped a serious, eerie video that got everyone talking. In the clip, the person is filming in the woods at night. Things were just your typical spooky forest scene until a strange noise caught their attention. He quickly swung the camera toward the source of the noise and bam! There it was, something super creepy. This eerie creature was chilling on a tree branch, looking all ghostly and pale, with its long, dark hair making the whole scene even more unsettling. And then, if that wasn't freaky enough, the creature extended its hand, and out of the blue, fire appeared. Yeah, you can guess what happened next. The person behind the camera decided it was time to beat a hasty retreat out of those woods. I don't blame him. That's some seriously hair-raising stuff right there. And to sign off today's video, we thought we'd show you a trail capture of one of our all-time favorite cryptids, Bigfoot. If there has been any footage that shows the intelligence and industriousness of Bigfoot, this is definitely up there with it. In this footage, we see what looks like a ginormous bipedal with fur all around it, stopping for a drink, albeit carefully. It lifts its head and looks in the direction of the camera. I'm pretty sure it sees it and then starts to walk away. But do you notice something weird? This Bigfoot doesn't look like the others. It's quite unique in its build and mannerisms. Do you see it too, or am I just seeing things? Either way, that's all for today, folks. Thanks for staying with us. Did you have a favorite? Are there trail cams you'd want us to feature more? Please tell us in the comments section below. And if you have any trail cam footage you'd like the rest of the world to see, please send it over to us at classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll upload it in our next episode and give you the credit, unless you want to remain anonymous. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us out a ton. See you in the next one.